Hello, I'm Michael Diamond, and you're watching Muscle Central. Okay, a little while back, I was talking about who I thought would be, who I thought were the greatest threats to Rami defending his Olympia title. I had a few people that I thought were dangerous, to say the least, to Rami, but I put Ruli Winkler at the top of that list. Now, I'm starting to second guess myself. Now, don't get me wrong. Ruli Winkler, by all means, is still extremely dangerous. Ruli's the real freak of bodybuilding right now. If he nails his conditioning, it's scary. But he's been back and forth with his conditioning. I believe it was 2017 or 18 that was he came into the Olympia where he placed fourth, I believe. But it was his best look nonetheless. The more I think about it, I'm starting to think that Hadi Choopan can potentially be the biggest threat to Rami. Now, Hadi, yeah, he's a lot smaller, and on paper, you might not think like that. But Hadi Choopan, well, this is what he brings. In 2019, he placed third in the Mr. Olympia. Brandon Curry first, William Bonac second, Hadi Choopan third. That could have been, the placings could have been switched up in any order. That's how close it was, competitive it was. So right away, we know he has the goods to be a Mr. Olympia. We know he's had issues getting into this country. That's why we haven't seen so much of him. 2019, he got in. He got in about a week or so before the show. This year, there was a lot more complications they had to get around. Not only the fact that the relationship with the United States and Iran is not the greatest. We had this COVID situation, and even though we got in 2019, it was still very much up in the air of whether Hadi would make it into the country in 2020. And as it turned out, he gets into the country day before the show takes place. Now, as a lot of you might know, traveling, especially traveling on a plane, can affect the body and the way the body looks. In Hadi's case, he retained a lot of water, and he needed to lose a good 20 pounds of water weight to look at least somewhat the way we were expect him to look. Keep in mind, Hadi is always in shape, very consistent. So he has to lose a lot of water weight in one day. Friday's placings weren't Well, Friday in the prejudging did not have that same hard, crisp look, uh, tight look that we're used to seeing. Although, compared to most, he was still pretty damn good. But it wasn't the level that we've seen him before. By the time the finals came Saturday, body improved even more, and he had straight seconds across the board Saturday night. Ended up placing fourth and behind Phil Heath third, Brandon Curry second, and of course Big Ramy. No doubt in my mind, Hadi should have been placed ahead of Phil Heath. We all know what went on over there. But if he would have came in, made it into the country sooner, and didn't have to go through this process in such a short period of time, and his body had a chance to acclimate, we could have been seeing a very, very different outcome. Let's say what if he came in Friday night the way he looked Saturday, and even better on Saturday. Standing next to Ramy during the finals, yes, Ramy was much bigger physically than Hadi, but he did not, what you would say, overpower him. Hadi has is trying to use find a good word to use. Well, he has a very powerful looking physique, chiseled conditioning. Almost reminds me a bit of a '93 Dorian Yates conditioning. Absolutely, looks like you're absolutely chiseled out of stone. So, to try to bring this video to a conclusion, yes, maybe I was wrong. Maybe Ruli isn't the biggest threat to Ramy retaining the title of Mr. Olympia, quite possibly Hadi. Keep in mind, I believe he was only about 220, 222 when he was on stage. And even at that weight, it was such a big difference between him and Ramy. Like I said, he was not overpowered. He was outmassed. Yes, Ramy was physically bigger, but physique-wise, he really didn't overpower him. Hadi, what if he comes in, if he can put on 10 to 15 pounds solid muscle with that type of conditioning, that kind of dryness, that chiseled look that he brings to the stage. If Ramy really couldn't overpower him when he was 220, what's going to happen if Hadi Choopan puts on that quality muscle? Now, also, last thing I'd like you to keep in mind, even though the past 2 years Hadi did make it to the country, all along through his training process, his preparation, there's always this thought in the back of his head, am I doing this for nothing? Will I make it into the country. In previous years, he could not get in. He was qualified to compete, but he could not get in. So that's always in the back of your head. Well, looks like there's arrangements made, and Hadi will be in the U.S. working with Hadi Rambod, staying here for his prep. So on top of everything else, he has the an added advantage that he's not going to have to be concerned whether he'll be able to get into this country to compete, whether his training will be for nothing, because he will already be here. Okay, you might agree or disagree with what I've said. Either way, please let me know in the comment section. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share, and by all means subscribe. Do not forget to hit that notification bell. This way, every time I put up a new video, you will be notified. Once again, this is Michael Diamond, and I'd like to thank you for watching Muscle Central.